Hey guys, AJ here, back with another live for you. Here we are on a Thursday, guys. It's a great time, great day. I've had a good week so far. Nothing too crazy, And I think it's St. Patrick's Day soon. That's a good day to be around, right? So yeah, guys, it's a good day. I hope you guys are all having a good day. I hope that work and other stuff's not stressing you out too much, So yeah. I decided to do a live today only because there is a new takedown with Chris Hansen that's pretty insane. We can try and get through the whole thing, but it's pretty nuts. And then there was another. Actually, here's an article that I want to share with you guys first. Let me share my screen, and I want people's opinion on this because this is kind of crazy. Hold on. Move into new window. Cornelia says, I cannot believe it's not butter. Oh man, Miley Watts is in the house, Luna's in the house, Josh is in the house, Els B. I am having a good day. Actually, Cornelia's in the house. Hold on. Let me show you this right here. Let me share my screen. Look at this, guys. Pregnant Florida suspect in Uber deletion seeks release because unborn baby not charged with a crime. Look at that. So this woman, I'm not going to show the video because Florida PD will come and yeet me off of YouTube, and I don't want that to happen. So this woman got an argument with a woman. There's a bunch of her friends were in this Uber, and they got an argument, and she pulls out the heater and just blasts her in the chest, and she ends up. Cornholio said that's the most Florida thing ever. Oh man, but yeah, she deletes her, and now she's trying to say, "Oh well, my baby is a person and didn't do anything wrong. So why is my baby in prison?" It's like what? But and then she's trying to say, "Oh well, my baby's gonna be around violence and violent criminals." It's like she's around a violent criminal already. You are a violent criminal, But this is actually like this was filed. And this person, I mean, yes, the court has to hear every case, right? And with the ban on baby deletion, they're saying that babies in the womb have rights. So I guess, but if this were to happen, and I'm not trying to get into any type of politics here, but if this were to happen, which it's not going to, because she's saying that her baby's not getting the right amount of care, and if you read farther down, she does have the right amount of care, right? Like she has hospital visits and all this stuff. She's been denying them. She said, "I don't want y'all to touch me," blah blah blah, right? But if they were to judge in this favor, let's just say that this knucklehead was let out of prison because the baby is a person. I would think that the state could actually use that as an innocence by association. But could use that as an excuse to uphold any ban on baby deletion. Now, guys, I can't say the A word because I don't want to get yeeted off of YouTube. So that's the reason why I say deletion and not the M word, and baby deletion and not the A word. Okay. Well, okay, Josh. So the attorney isn't stupid because attorneys get paid to do a job, right? I was wondering why there's attorneys who will represent the scummiest of scummy people, but it's a job. You know what I mean? And then everyone is entitled to a good defense, right? And in the same way that there's people who make money doing all types of, I don't know, just stuff that that we wouldn't even consider. I'm trying to think of an example of a person that does something that's that we would consider to be like, okay. So for instance, there is a guy, and he does evictions. And he shows up, and he says, look, you got to get out. And him and his guys will toss, they take the lock off the door, they go in and they toss you out. And they can't undo the court order. So there's a guy, he has a YouTube channel. I'll drop that in the Discord and in the chat. But yeah, that's all he does. And people can say, oh, that's messed up because you're throwing grandmas out on the street. And on a couple of his videos, he is throwing grandmas out on the street, but they didn't pay the rent or the mortgage. I couldn't do the job, but someone has to do it. And these lawyers who are scumbag trash bin lawyers, someone's got to do the job. So selling bathwater. But anyways, this is the victim here, and who is a mother of 3. That's sad, man. Look at that, man. Oh man, I don't think that I could ever be mad enough at a person to pull out the choppers and just start blasting. Oh, you know what else, guys? The guy that I did the video on yesterday, what was his name? The Navy guy. Why is my memory not working today? I think it's because it's Thursday, and I wish it was Friday. What's his name? 1 second, guys. What is his name? Oh, Joseph Roisman. Right, let's look at this. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Joseph Roisman. Oops, Roisman. It reminds me of that Taylor Swift song. Trouble, trouble, trouble. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh no. Yeah, he's up there for the dumbest tattoos that predators have had. Oh no. Oh man, oh man. Yeah, that's great. Whew, boy. So guys, I'm gonna drop the link early for anyone who wants to join in. Let's see. There we go. Anyone to what I believe lived. Okay, so there are people that go to really expensive schools, and then they'll work for like the federal government, or they'll do things or work for the public, where they don't have to make a lot of money. And I think that that's a privilege thing, right? Because if you grow up not really needing money, then you don't really understand. Like, you go to Harvard and Princeton to get high price skills to make money, right? And hi Heather, how are you? So like you probably won't catch a lot of like immigrants from like Africa or Southeast Asia or the Middle East that grew up in in really, really poor environments, going to Yale and then being a public defender and making 90 grand a year. There's no way. I think that that's a uniquely Western thing, where you can say, oh, my family's rich, piff poff, and they bought my way into Stamford, but I'm going to go to Columbia Law and I'm going to help the public. Yes, come on, dude. So Look who it is. Look who got to join the stream.
Hey, my son just got home from school, so hold on a minute, bud.
No worries, man. No worries. We can call Steven, aka Zakander, Mr. Michigan.
Not proud of it.
No problem, man. No, but like, so just to go completely off topic here, right? Oh yeah, Josh, he's never gonna pay those loans off, ever, unless he does some type of like public student loan forgiveness. But he's never gonna pay those off ever. And it's funny because you know, I was talking to someone once, and they were saying that they wrote a letter, a recommendation for a girl who wanted to go for one of his friend's daughters who wanted to go to Harvard Law or one of the Ivy League schools, and they're not rich. And then he had me read her letter, the recommendations, like, I want to help out the disparities of the poor and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, she's gonna be broke then. And he goes, why would you say that? I'm like, because you're people who work in those types of fields. This would be like going to school for 14 years, being a surgeon, and then opening up a free clinic in Baltimore. You are in tons of debt to get high price skills, and you want to give it away. And guys, you cannot be altruistic when you're young. This is why you see doctors, lawyers, they start foundations when they get older, when they're 65, 70, because then they have nothing better to do. But you can't be 28-year-old fresh out of law school trying to help the disparity of the starving. It just doesn't work, because you can't live, because you got to live in a big city. You have student loans. So what are you supposed to do? And the craziest part is, guys, and I'll jump off my student loans. So bucks here. My friend was working for the government as a lawyer, and he had been in for 3 years, and he was working. He went from nonprofit to the government, and he was like, yeah, I just need to do 10 more years. And someone at his gym who's like, you're an attorney, right? He said, yeah. He said, you realize in the 10 years that you're spending working for the government, making 80 grand a year, he said, you won't just lose. They're paying off your student loans, yes, but the loans you have are less. But you are losing out on potential earnings. If you were to work for a high-priced law firm for 10 years, he could pay off his loans and and have more money too. So it's lost wages too. So, yep. But anyways, so we have Steven or Shakander, and we have the great Cornholio on the line. How you guys doing today?
I'm good, bud. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Life is good, on a Thursday. Life is really, 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 really good. So I figure, what's that?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. So we can jump into this episode here. I actually think that there's another episode before this, but I watched the first couple minutes of this, and this was so nuts that I had to just jump on it. And, hey, guys. Another really cool channel is this guy named Funa, Funa. He does a lot of like mini documentaries on these young kids that think that they're like gangsters or whatever, and they're like doing all this craziness, man. Like all this crime, and that's crazy. And these are like 17-year-olds and 14-year-olds. It's crazy. Funa. I'll drop the channel in the chat, and Cornholio, I will drop the Discord link in this chat also.
Good.
All right, so here we go, guys. And guys, I will give my disclaimer. Please remember to like, subscribe, drop a comment. If you have a request, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the Discord. If you've already done one and I haven't done it yet, it'll be coming down the pipeline for all lives. If I have a video, I have to stop it quite a bit so Florida PD doesn't yeet us off of YouTube. Okay.
Chris Hansen and his ghost team investigating
ghost team
adults trying to meet children for sex, all a part of a major string of sting operations where these men are exposed. I get to interview them, and they are arrested and held.
Oh, speaking of that, someone told me about Colorado Ped Patrol. You know what? I'm going to start reacting to them, or them. There's multiple guys, right? Does anyone watch them?
I've seen some of their stuff.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You know what? I like the fact that they sit there and they're like, look, you're going to answer our questions, or we can just call the cops now. And they'll sit there and ask the dudes questions. I saw one where a guy was in a truck and he turned off his truck and he sat there and answered all the questions. So they kind of do the whole Chris Hansen part, which is pretty cool. There's a couple other guys where they just run up on them and they're like, screaming and yelling. It's like, I don't want to see that, So
there was a news story recently and they interviewed Chris Hansen as part of it. And Chris Hansen was saying how he doesn't like people doing that because it's dangerous. And he was saying that the people are just doing it for clicks and for money. Yeah, and that they should have the police involved. But I don't know. I thought it was a little hypocritical because, first 2 seasons or whatever, first 2 episodes of TCAP didn't have any police involved. And I don't know. I just thought that was a little ridiculous.
Well, I think that the issue with the guys on the internet is that they run up on them all crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this guy that they were talking about, he doesn't do that. He does it the exact same way almost the exact same way Chris Hansen does.
Yeah, I know that when he was talking to those guys you were talking about, that's right. Chris doesn't want anyone on his turf. Yeah. So he was saying to the guys that he spoke to during the when he was talking about that one EDP 445 guy, that they goofed up the investigation and then the cops couldn't prosecute because they don't know the right way to handle the evidence and all of that. So that's what I saw of him saying, look, at least MSNBC and all of them actually went through the channels and got the lawyers involved and said, what can we do to get law enforcement involved? And it looks like some of these other guys do that too. But there's probably for every one the Colorado Ped Patrols, there's 8 or 9, 20 guys that are like, we're gonna look badass on the internet, woo, So,
right.
Skeeter Gene's a really good channel to watch.
Well,
that's who he was talking about.
Oh, gotcha. Whoops.
Okay. No worries. Well,
like I said, I disagree with that. I mean, I think the government doesn't do nearly enough.
Not enough at all. No, I agree. And the thing is, look, I am pro the Constitution. We all have rights. And I say in every video, never waive your rights. Ever.
Never talk to a cop without an attorney.
And I understand that they say everything before but is BS. But this is a good but, right? I believe I would rather have too much policing of this stuff to protect kids than not enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I guarantee you won't, I mean, in this sector, you know what I'm saying? I would rather them have a little bit more leeway in the rules for catching these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think any of us are dumb enough, sick enough. We're just regular working people. None of us will end up in that situation, right? And the people who will deserve to get got. You know what I'm saying? I have no sympathy, no empathy, none whatsoever. I believe that it should be one strike and you're out. If you get caught doing this, you jail for life. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. I'm talking Siberian gulag style. You, Steven, you are new. Yes. What am I supposed to do? You break rocks.
Our prisons are a little too cushy for my own liking out here, but whatever.
But what about the smaller rocks? Break into sand. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. You know what I mean? So I look at the prisons in like Indonesia. And do you guys watch Locked Up Abroad? Anyone?
Briefly.
Nah.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna pick out my like 3 or 4 favorite episodes, and we can watch those. Dude, you do not want to go to jail anywhere else except like Western Europe and the United States and
Yeah.
Canada. Anywhere else, dude, you are in some trouble. Even in Japan, dude. Japan's jails are no joke, you know? So, but here we go. They had an episode where a lady got caught trying to run some snow up from Colombia to Oregon, and she got caught, and she had cancer, and that was in remission, and she was in prison in Colombia, and her cancer came back. They're like, I need help, and they're like, and they didn't even care, man. So, okay, here we go.
Accountable. But now we've come across a different sort of investigation, a predator who is operating in multiple states, one who targeted a 12-year-old girl in Flint, Michigan. It all starts with a visit to an emergency room after the girl had been sexually
Back in
assaulted.
Michigan.
I know, right?
This is
So tired
I'll call
of
you
it.
Mr. Michigan. I swear.
Yeah, thanks.
22-year-old Peter Pejek. He was taken into custody by the Genesee County Sheriff's Office in early 2022 for allegedly...
Look at that guy. Look at that face, man. Look at that face. Oh, man. I would say there's a face that you would just not tire of punching. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could really get your cardio in. 1, 2, 3, you know? And that is a face right there.
sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl he met online and groomed through Instagram. Over the course of the investigation, illicit secrets, devious actions, and disturbing revelations would come into focus, leaving everyone stunned.
Yikes.
The crime started to unfold with a phone call to Sheriff Chris Swanson in Ghost.
Chris on Chris action.
Ghost is the Genesee
Human Oppression Strike Team. Ghost.
Oppression Strike Team, and they are one of the most successful child predator operations in the country. And how did you...
So they are, so they do like multiple jurisdictions, I wonder? Interesting.
find out about this crime?
Because of her family that saw the need and immediately took her to Hurley Hospital. And, you know, those professionals at hospitals, and especially the emergency rooms, triage nurses, trauma docs, it's easy when a story comes in to try to piecemeal. That's what they do. They're experts at assessment. And you hear a story and you start putting pieces together, you realize, okay, this little girl.
It's sad that this happened to her, man. It's really, really, really sad.
It makes me so mad because this is literally about 30 minutes from my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Hey, speaking of that, you have a story to tell us, my friend.
Okay. So
let's take them back.
yeah, so I'm 30 now. This happened when I was 18 years old. It was right after high school. Me and 4 of my friends all started working at the same place. It was like a warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends, who I'd been friends with since middle school, we met. The owner's son worked there, and we met him and like went to some parties with them and stuff. And for some reason, I don't know, it was because we went to his house. It was like a graduation party or something, and his little sister was there, who was like 12 years old. And my friend met her, and apparently, long story short, started hanging out with her and having sex with her.
Oh no!
At 12 years old.
Oh no!
And I actually know for sure that all this happened too, because he told me. And eventually, the parents found out somehow, and They didn't even like press charges or anything, dude. They just,
What?
yeah, they just showed up at our work one day and yelled at him and told him never to talk to her again. And they just let him go on his way. I couldn't believe it, dude. But that's like how common this stuff is. He was 19 years old having sex with a freaking 12-year-old.
That is no. Who was the guy that?
I'm sorry, I'm probably not supposed to say that.
That goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Who was he again? Daniel. No, what's his name? You remember he had his wife was like 14, and that like ruined his whole career.
No, I'm not sure what you're talking about, to be honest. His wife was 14?
Jerry Lee Lewis. That was him. Yeah, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Yeah, and then they had the movie, and Dennis Quaid played him in the film. And he had his whole career going, and you drink on there, and then people found out that his wife, who he was traveling with, was like 14 or 15.
How was he married?
This was back in like 1960 something in like the South or whatever. I mean, hold on. Oh yeah. His rock and roll career faltered in wake of his marriage to Myra Gale Brown, his 13-year-old second cousin. Wow!
That's so romantic.
And remember that Winona Ryder played the little girl back in the day, and Dennis Quaid played Jerry Lee Lewis. So that's a good movie, guys. It's called Great Balls of Fire. It's like his biopic. It was like the late 80s or the mid 80s. So check it out, man. You know, Metal Gear Solid is a solid game, man. No pun intended. Yeah, Elvis was a weirdo too, man.
Oh, he definitely was.
Yes. A lot of them are not the best, you know. So
yeah, it's crazy. All these famous people, the stuff that they get into, man.
I used to work at a restaurant in college. This reminds me, I've never told this story, and so the hostess were always these like 16, 17-year-old high school students, you know what I mean? And that's because it was an easy job, and they just show up or after class or whatever, right? And this one girl, she was like 16. She had just turned 16. And she was a Seahawks fan. So I was like, hey, how are you? Whatever. But like, I'm like, okay, whatever. And one day she's like all crying. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I don't want to tell you. I'm like, what's wrong? She said they had like a sleepover or whatever with like her friends after they were, and her dad like was like, here's alcohol, and like nailed one of her friends who was like 14. I was like, oh. And I didn't like, what do you say? I was like, okay, that sucks. Bye now. And there's nothing really that I can say. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
No, because you said that like that now she will stop calling the house. Like, oh, is your dad there?
Oh my god.
It was a very, very awkward conversation to have before your shift.
Yeah.
At work, man. Yeah. Well, anyways.
Actually assaulted.
The girl's parents bring her to the emergency room. Your department is notified. How do you then connect this horrifying crime to the predator?
Whoa. Insanity Pepper. Albert Einstein, too? Albert Einstein? Really?
Yeah, I never knew that.
No way. I have to. You know what? We need to have a show where we just like go over like historical figures who liked you know what I mean.
Yeah, apparently it's everybody at this point. My god.
It's insane. Okay, hold on.
Her phone. Phones are priceless pieces of evidence that link our whole world together. So we have a 24/7 ghost operator on call every day, 365. And they were dispatched to the hospital, immediately took the statement, grabbed the phone, Captain Nelson downloaded it, and boom, there's the conversation, there's the suspect, there's the contact that we need, and we start building the case, and we do it from, think about it as you're kind of putting toothpaste back in the tube. You know, it's not always easy to do, but you got to put it back to see where it started from.
Nice hand gestures there, bro.
And that's what we do.
What ghost investigators uncovered in the phone of the 12-year-old victim was troubling, disturbing, and every parent's nightmare. Why did Peter Pajic target this specific 12-year-old girl?
He's attracted to young people. It's all very innocent.
He's a map, guys. He has a drop a 1 in the chat if you know what a map is, because we talked about this on another stream. Drop a 1 in the chat if you know, or if anyone wants to put the definition of what a map is.
You know, I know you've mentioned that you watch those JCS videos.
Yeah,
it's amazing what they do with people's phones now. Like, if anybody wants to commit any kind of serious crime, it's like you can't even own a phone anymore. It's crazy.
There's a guy, all right, there's a security guard at my job, and we talk, and he's one of those like Illuminati, oh, there's a worldwide cabal of right? And I said, he's like, and they're trying to track us, man. I said, dude, they already track you. You have a phone in your hand.
Yeah, it's a little late for that.
Talking about staying off the grid. And then I'm like, dude, anytime that anyone has that type of conspiracy theory stuff going on, I'm like, yeah, man, they're in the woods and they're tell them this. This works every time. All right, buddy, I will grant you that the earth is flat. there's a cabal of people that are rich that are out there. I'll grant you that. Let's just Thanos snap, boom, and make all that true. What can I do about it?
Right.
Why are you telling me? Like, what can I do? Honestly. And he just stopped and was like, and I said, and here we go. If there was this rich cabal of trillionaires and stuff run, how did you find out about it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Who are you, man? Like, what are you talking about? So,
and it starts out just building a friendship, but he's already watching what she's posting at Instagram, so he knows the things that interest her, he knows the places she goes, the emotions she has, and he just plays on that. And then it quickly rolls into, we're going to make this meet. And you know, if I say something to you and you don't turn me down, I just came a step closer, and then a step closer. But the ultimate goal is for him to facilitate a physical interaction.
ugh.
That physical interaction happened February 2022. Peter Pajic flew from Florida to Detroit, Michigan, where surveillance footage captured him in the early morning hours.
You know what the craziest thing is that I'll try and find the video, but this guy, he was showing how like people who stalk you and stuff, they can find out who you are just by like landmarks in the photo. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone wants to get you and you're posting stuff on social media, they're gonna find you. You know what I mean? Oh, look, you know, Steven and I are out. They can look in the background and see what restaurant we're at, Google it, and just jump in the car. Or if you're taking pictures around your house, they can look for certain houses, certain street signs, certain cars. They can do all types of stuff. So it's like, dude, just the only thing you want to post on social media is pictures of cute cats. That's it. That's the only safe way. And people who make accounts for their kids. Oh, look at little Billy's Instagram. Like, why would you do that? So
He convinced her that he would fly up and he would meet her at a church parking lot at midnight. He had already gone to a hotel, which is in the area off of Pearson 75.
She said the moon is made of cheese. Cornholio says he deleted all of his social media when his daughter was born. Smart move, man. Very smart.
Entered the room. We knew what time that was. We had the surveillance videos. Then he came back, picked her up, took her back to the hotel. We have walking down the hallway. She's a little tiny 12-year-old girl. 12-year-old. Gets her in the room, and he's with her for 4 hours.
Oh no!
And full sex, oral sex. He's videoing the whole thing.
Oh no!
And he's teaching her, told her what he wanted her to wear, how he wanted her to do her hair, grooming. And he said, if you do this, I'm going to pay you with crypto money for gaming.
Crypto money for gaming.
And that was her thing. So everybody's got a button.
How did he groom this 12-year-old girl on Instagram?
Well, guys, I'm gonna go on a little sidebar here, right? So I remember, AOL, Yahoo, blah blah blah, and then MySpace was the very first thing where I was posting pictures and blah blah blah, right? And then was Facebook, right? So, and I use Facebook and I use Instagram, right? But I don't ever post anything on there. I look at family, friends. People will hook up on Facebook. I don't understand how that works. If anyone that I don't know messages me, I ignore. You know what I'm saying? People hook up and then they cheat on their spouses on Facebook or Instagram, and they will get in arguments to where they'll go to a person's house, pull out the chopper, and start blasting. How does that happen on Facebook, or Snapchat? Hey, maybe I'm 42. That's not my generation, but I don't understand, man. I just don't.
Some people, I don't know. The closest, my wife, I met her one night and we didn't talk after that. And then the next day we were already friends on Facebook somehow. And that's how we ended up finding each other.
Oh, okay.
But aside from that, we had already met each other before that. I don't know how people just randomly find each other and they're like, yeah, you seem like a good person I'd want to talk to, because you don't know that person.
Nope.
At all.
Someone trying to hack you, someone trying to do all of that, man. No, thanks.
Yeah,
nope,
I don't trust people enough for stuff like
or
that.
even then, people go, aren't you afraid of phishing and all of those? Yeah, dude, I don't ever win anything. Okay, I don't win. I don't win any contests. I don't win any giveaways. I don't sign up for warranties. You got the wrong guy, dude. I know these emails are BS.
Right.
And I don't care, Mr. Nigerian Prince. I'm not giving you any money to get your trust fund.
Many times the platform.
Well, the original. No, keep going.
I was going to say, I've had people that I know that they've been almost scammed by stuff like that. They're telling me about it. Yeah, this person called me and I won this contest and I didn't even know I entered it. And I'm like, dude, that's because you didn't. There's no contest. They're trying to get your information. They're like, yeah, they asked my social security number. Yeah, of course they did, because they want to scam you. Why do you think that's real?
Yes, he's in the house. There is a guy, him and his friends, they post them getting back at scammers. It's great, man. I'll have to drop his link. But
there's a few of them like that.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. And the thing is, all you got to do is just think, look, I'm not special. I don't win anything. I don't deserve it. Anything that I didn't work for, and then you won't get scammed. That's basically it.
They also target a lot of older people that don't understand how that stuff works, though.
Yeah, that is true.
Forums are just the introduction, and they take it offline because they know they're being monitored. So they'll go right to text me, and that's what happened. Is he took her to a text conversation?
Oh no. Miley Watts said her boyfriend's dad gets scammed all the time. They have the address, phone number, and everything. That's so sad, man. Oh man, that's terrible. Yeah, a lot of elderly people get scammed, and it's people in Jamaica, Nigeria, and India. And it's sad, man.
Conversation, which is obviously not monitored, and that's how the conversation continued. And he broke her down. And after that interaction of 4 hours, he was in Michigan for 48 hours. I can only account for 4. That little girl had a psychological breakdown, and her parents took her to the hospital. And it was at that moment that the SANE nurses, which are sexual assault forensic nurses, recognized not only physiological trauma from a grown man to a 12-year-old girl, but the emotional breakdown. And that's what opened the door.
So sad, man.
The clock was ticking to catch this volatile child predator before he could claim another victim. So how did the Genesee County Sheriff's Office track Paget down? Detectives Walker and...
Yeah, so Heather, you guys hear in all of my videos, I hate thieves. I hate thieves. I hate predator. Predator is the worst, obviously. But I would honestly put thieves and liars. Like I would say thieves, liars, con people, right? Like that pretty much covers it up, because you can, thieves and con people are right up there too, because you're too lazy to work for your own stuff, so you steal mine. Man, nothing irks me more than thieves. It drives me crazy.
Kennemer documented their journey as they partnered with Florida law enforcement.
All right, we just landed in Fort Lauderdale. We got a rental car. We're driving near our hotel. So as we're looking at the pings, we're pinging the guy's phone all day long. Looks like he went south right now.
Hey, Steven, is there a Michigan accent?
Yes, absolutely. People don't know that there is, but there definitely is. We tend to speak, it's more on the west side of Michigan, but we tend to speak faster and shorten certain words.
Really? Well, people know that I'm from the West Coast, because I say you guys instead of like y'all or yins, you know what I mean? Or yous, and then I say like a lot. So people are like,
Yeah.
oh, you're from the West Coast. I didn't realize there was a Washington accent, but at least I don't say Washington, So hold on. Yeah. Oh, yes. Luna says the earthquake situation in Turkey, there were some scammers who actually warned people that there was a bigger earthquake that was coming just to steal people's stuff.
That's disgusting.
That's so messed up. I'm sorry. There are things that are so messed up. You just have to laugh to keep from crying. You know what I mean? Like,
well, then they did have.
That is so wrong.
They did have another earthquake shortly after that, didn't they?
Yes, they have.
Oh man. Oh no. I don't know. I'm not sure. So, guys, how my brain works is there's things can be so messed up as to the point of where they're funny, right? So, for instance, I remember the last time that a person called me like a really, really like old school racial slur. I'm talking like and I just laughed in his face. I'm like, dude, you're not serious, are you? Like, what? And he was mad because I thought it was funny that he called me that. I'm not gonna say the actual term. It's an old term that you probably don't hear anymore. Watch Gran Torino. He says it a lot, but
I have no tolerance for that either.
But I just laughed in his face. I don't. And he just walks away, and my friend is like, "Oh man, AJ, so we thought that you were gonna punch him in his face, but like you laughed, and it made him more mad. He walked away. I'm like, who's gonna really? You're gonna call me that? Like, dude, what century is this?" Insanity Pepper. Yes, that is the one. Yes, that is the one. That's the guy called me that to my face. And he was in the wrong too. Like he actually almost backed into my car, right? And he was just like, "Argh!" And I'm like, dude, chill. He's like, I'll get you. And like I said, if people, you give them power if you show that they can get to you. If you're indifferent or you just laugh them off, they have no power, and they're not you. They're looking for a fight, and you don't give them one. They don't know what to do. So, yeah, Ivan X, what is going on, man? Ivan X, Josh, Sikander, who we're like my OG subs, man. Ivan X, man, how have you been? Wow. Yeah, wow, man. Good. It's good to see you. You know, so we'll get back into this here soon. But Luna, okay, I'm an optimistic person anyways. But so when it comes to this, to the world as a whole, I'm uncharacteristically optimistic. And there are times where I step back and like the news and social media, people focus on the negative, especially in the West, right? We have 24-hour news networks and they have to get ratings, so they fill the news up with negativity, right? But if you just step outside your house and you look at people, go to your house at 9 a.m. and look out, and you'll see thousands and thousands of people getting up, going to work to make some money, raise their kids, come home and eat. That's what 95% plus of people do. It's a small percentage of people that are doing bad things to the rest of us, you know? But in general, like people just want to get along and people just want to, get up, be happy, raise kids or whatever. But it's kind of like the sharpshooter fallacy where you can focus on every day that you were sick last year, but not every day that you weren't sick. It's just how the human brain works. So I try and focus on all the days that I wasn't sick and not the days that I am sick. So
he's down in like Hollywood, so he's not by his house.
Refrain from putting swear words in the chat. That could get me yeeted off too. I mean, I really think Florida PD has been cracking down on a lot of people on YouTube as of late. So
he's about an hour away from his house. So, one of our fears right now is that he's out there and there's another victim perhaps, or he's out there and not going to come home. Hopefully, we'll make that work. We've been in contact with our FBI friends, and if it comes down to it, they have a vehicle that can track his phone and
that's good.
Pinpoint his location, and we'll be in contact with them. But saying our prayers tonight that he'll return home and everything will go as planned as we set up.
Things don't always go as planned, though, and the detectives fear Peter Pejic might slip through their fingers.
Looks like our suspect didn't go home last night. He stayed in Fort Lauderdale. So the hunt is on. Being breakfast in the morning. Good morning. We're closing in on you.
It's one thing that I could say now is a lot of these cops have all these tattoos, man. Like I used to live down in San Antonio, and they must have lowered the bar because I got pulled over by a girl who was so young. I'm like, "Are you a cop for real?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, not trying to be sexist and all, but she just looked like really, really young because she was a small Hispanic woman. But I'm like, and then this other cop had all these tattoos and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, are you really a cop? Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable. Or I'm a cop. I'm like, well, that's kind of crazy, you know?
The standards definitely aren't quite the same as they were even about 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. You saw that in Tennessee where that poor guy got deleted by those cops and the Scorpion Squad or whatever.
I saw that. Yeah,
the Memphis police, in order to work there, you just need 2 years of work experience. That's it.
That's how Detroit cops are. I mean, they're desperate because nobody wants to do it anymore.
Yeah.
They're all worried about getting in trouble or getting shot at or something. Which I mean, that's a whole nother story.
Dude, yeah. Well, I have police in my family. So my uncle was really, really, really high up in the NYPD. My aunt is also. And he said the worst part is that they you'll have a whole precinct of 60 guys, and 4 of them are bad. And the thing is, they're all uniformed officers, so they all represent each other. Those 4 cops will make the whole precinct bad, and then you can't get rid of them. So
Yeah.
Almighty Cornholio, that was Mary Kay Letourneau. I was around at that time, and I remember there was a woman that I used to work with where her sister was part of like the Attorney General's office, and she had to process that case. It's crazy. So yeah, man, I think she just passed away. I think Mary Kay Letourneau, she's no longer with us. Yeah, but they had like 3 or 4 kids and got married, and apparently they were really, really, really popular in France. Like they were celebrities in France. It was nuts. So
Those detectives hit the road in search of Pejic, but with him not being home, arresting him might prove to be trickier than they thought.
All right, we just talked to our contact. They're on a standby now because he's an hour away to the south. Myself and Walker, we're going to head down, try to lay eyes on him. Dealing with other states and other laws, we're trying to figure out what they can do, if they can transport across county lines even. They have questions.
Dude, looks like the guy from The Shield doesn't he? Just he has jowls. Obviously, he needs to lose a couple of lbs, but that's probably the look he's going for.
About that. The problem we have is that the county that he was staying in and his home's in has set up for the extradition for us. And if he gets arrested in another county, everyone's extradition down here is different. So we'll have to scramble to try to get him sent back to Michigan. But we're going to go try to lay eyes on this guy and make sure we know where he's at.
Local authorities get a ping on Pejic's cell phone. Now the ghost team has to pinpoint his exact location.
Miley Watts said he looks like Rutherford. Oh, he does! He does! No way! Look at him.
He actually does.
Does he drive a red Corvette too,
Changed his name. Moved to freaking Michigan, of course.
Now I'm not gonna unsee that. Man.
Just see if we can see his car.
I don't need to see this knucklehead again.
A short time later, detectives are hot on the trail and have him in their sights.
All right, so we got our ping location, and we're heading to that location, and lo and behold, we find our guy driving. So we're now tailing him right now.
And guys, please never wear shades.
Just never.
You can wear sunglasses, fine. But guys, why is it when guys put on shades, they're all like, yeah, I'm badass.
What's the difference? I honestly don't know. What was the difference?
These are shades, right? I mean, I call these shades. Sunglasses are like, right, like frames. They're framed glasses, but these are like shades. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so are you talking about like the cheap kind of piece of crap ones, or
what do you mean?
It would, like, there's cheap ones that they sell just like at CVS or Walmart or whatever, and then there's like actual nice ones like Oakley's and Ray-Bans.
I mean, these are Oakley's right here, but
these
are,
I couldn't tell.
These shades that like kind of fit across your eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, my shades, bro.
Yeah, I don't like
people are like, you can't see my eyes. You know what I'm saying? You can't see into my soul. If you wear some nice sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oakley sunglasses. Let's see. I'm going so off topic. I'm so sorry, guys. But so like these, come on, man. Look at that. Wrapped around his face. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then something like, these. It's fine.
Yeah, those are
but these
yeah.
shades, anytime you see guys, what unless you're out snowboarding, that's different or whatever. But anytime that you see guys wearing shades, they're just trying to stand like with a little extra with their chest puffed out a little bit extra, you know, and it's kind of ridiculous. So as we go back to this guy. Oh no! You said that the guy in the shades looks like Lee Greer. Oh Lord!
Seeing the ocean.
Oh man!
Everybody from TCAP changed their names and moved to Michigan.
Apparently, so.
You know, Chris Hansen's actually from Michigan too.
Is he?
Yeah, he went to Brother Rice. That's a school in Brighton. It's like 25 minutes from my house. All of this crap is by my house.
I'm sure that this isn't good for your property value.
No, probably not. I live in Oakland County, though. It used to be like the richest county in the U.S., I believe, back in like the early 2000s.
Oh man,
prices here are ridiculous. Housing prices.
Hey, I'm in the DMV, man. Here, just look at prices around this area. It is but hey, here is not as bad as like San Francisco. San Francisco, where you pay $900,000, $1 million for a condo just to step over, use needles and human feces. Come on,
California is just on a different level.
Let's see.
We're tailing the car. Don't know where he's going. We hope he's going back to the area where we have people waiting for him.
Hansen,
the traffic here is thick, and we're dodging in and out of traffic.
But he's not going home. The ghost detectives followed Pedgick to a bank parking lot, and now there's nowhere for him to run.
All right, he's in the bank right now.
Why are you whispering, dude?
All the way over there.
It's just you and your homeboy in the car. Oh man, that's hilarious. Here, maybe if we whisper, maybe he won't see us. Oh man. Hey Josh, Richmond's not the DMV, bro. The DMV is Silver Spring, Rockville, Bethesda, DC, Chevy Chase. Yeah, and if you just Google search Bethesda rent prices, my friend lives in Navy Yard, and his rent and his parking space and everything, he pays $4,700 a month for a 1-bedroom condo. So yeah.
We're on the phone with 911. I'm on 1021 it. And right now we have them in the PN.
Josh, I didn't make the rules. I've been told, I'm not from the DMV, but I've been told specifically that the DMV is this particular area only. I've been corrected so many times. Yeah, Richmond is not the DMV. It just means the whatever part of Virginia, Northern Virginia. I don't know. So
C Bank on the corner of
University and Nova.
University and Nova. Definitely.
Jameson says he'll be blinded by my shades. He'll never see it's coming. Oh man! That's hilarious.
To get them pulled over.
Are they still whispering?
Yes. It's going to be a dark gray Honda Accord with a missing bumper. Human trafficking, sexual CSC warrant. His name is Pitar Pachek.
Pedgick is cornered. The ghost detectives now have to carefully coordinate the arrest, keeping in mind
Well, they have to call local law enforcement. Okay, that makes sense.
they're in a public place with civilians all around.
One of the units is going to call you now.
Okay. Hello, this is Detective Walker. Hi.
Hey, we have a couple guys in unmarked coming over to you. Where are you at? How do you guys want to grab this guy?
Detective
Tasers and tackles. In any order you want, right? Tackles and tasers, or tasers and tackles, right?
Kennemer and Walker plan the arrest with local officers.
I tell you guys, like I'm anti-bad cop. You know, I but all of that goes out the window when it comes to I really wish, what is it called? Police brutality on all these guys. I really do. I wish that they could record it and we could watch it over and over and over again.
It sure would give people some second thoughts about doing this crap.
That's true. Yeah, they should have special laws for, especially if they have an open and shut case. You
guys could get him in custody for us. Preferably, I don't know how this works with you guys down here, but we would, because we already have interview room arranged with Palm Beach County. If you guys could make an arrangement to meet up with them and transfer custody, where we could lodge him, because we have extradition and the interview scheduled with Palm Beach.
blah blah blah. I want to see some whooping. What kind of phone does this guy have that takes such crappy video?
They carefully enter the bank and quickly spot Pejic in an office just to the right of the front door.
Get him!
An officer approaches Pejic and quickly pats him down and puts him in cuffs.
He's resisting! Get him! Imagine being in the bank. You're trying to use the Coinstar machine, and you look up and all these dudes with vests and stuff come in. You're like, oh no! Oh, that is a body cam. Yeah.
Thankfully, Pejic is apprehended
Look at that
without
guy.
incident. With Peter Pejic now in Genesee County Sheriff's Office custody, next they take him to the station for questioning. Detective Kennemer is about to be sitting across from the man for whom he flew more than 1,300 miles to apprehend, and now he...
Dang, is that not the ultimate power move? Get up, sit over there.
he wants answers.
What is going on? We are going to get into all that, my friend. I'm a lieutenant for our sheriff's office, and when I tell you where I'm from, you'll know what this is about.
You'll know what this is about.
Are you a monster? Well, here's the deal. I'm from Michigan.
Josh said no. He's a camel.
Do you know why you're here now?
Pejic shakes his head no.
I didn't come down here by accident. Okay? And I believe you know why I'm here, right?
Oh, he's wearing those Flex Run 2021s, man. These are comfortable shoes, man. I have like 3 pair of those. I digress.
It's coming from Michigan.
Notice that.
Okay. Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Okay.
And say, oopsie.
It's now time for Detective Kennemer to reveal why he's there.
So listen, Peter. I know that you know she was 12. Right? I know that. That's not a question. But what I want to see is if you would be able to step up and help her now so she doesn't have to go through this anymore.
Pejic has acknowledged why he's in the interview room.
What is that, an aliens? You're dead. You're dog meat, pal.
Detective Kennemer wants to get the how.
So how did you meet her? Do you know her name?
No, I genuinely, I think I suspect it was based on her Instagram.
Doesn't
Where'd you
even
get her
know
through?
her name.
Twitter?
He tells the detective where on Twitter he met a 12-year-old girl.
There's like a community of people.
If you don't mind pausing it for a second.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, my dog's barking. I don't know if you heard that.
No worries.
Yeshua and I were just going back and forth about this on the Discord earlier. Just wait until you hear what they find in this dude's house. It's insane.
Oh no, that's terrible, man. Like I said, I wish, you know, I'm assuming that most of us watch SVU, right? I'm assuming most of us do. We know what my favorite episode of SVU. Do you remember that guy? He was some upper up and the police force, and he was a real jerk to Ben Benson for like seasons and seasons. Then they find out that he's part of that child corn ring. Remember that? Because they figure out that he's using his old neighbor's Wi-Fi so he can transmit stuff. Remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh man,
honestly.
I'll get the episode for you guys. It's the best episode because he was a villain, not a villain, but he was one of those. I'll shut you down, Stabler. I'll shut you down, Benson. And it turns out that he was the one that is transmitting child corn, and then his wife is like, "He's innocent. You don't know what you're doing." Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, so good.
No, honestly, I don't remember that at all.
So good. Matter of fact.
Age regress, as it's called. And one of the suggested posts that was brought up was one of her posts in her account.
Okay, you gotta help an old dumb white guy out.
Right. Okay.
What is age regression?
Age regression is something I'm not too familiar about it either, but it's a kink that a lot of people have.
Oh, so this is one of those people where these people where they want to meet a person and like, here, I need you to put on pigtails and have a lollipop. You know what I mean? Yeah. Matter of fact, as there's a here, let me do this. Cornholio's back, right around, man. Let me do this.
Yeah, here's a bonnet and a rattle and an adult diaper.
Let me do this real fast. Let me see if I can find it. This guy did a documentary on what these Instagram girls do when they get flown out to Dubai and stuff, right? And let me go here real quick. Mystery. I'm going to drop it in the chat so you guys can watch. But there are guys who will troll these Instagram women and actually act like there's some rich billionaires, and just to see like what they'll do for how much money. It's crazy, dude. And then they'll post the stuff on online. But I mean, all these girls who you see in Dubai and all this other stuff, when they're out there, they were flown out there to do some crazy stuff, man. You know, and oh man, why can I never find stuff, man? Anyways, I know that I say there's a lot. That's why I will drop this in the chat when I find it. But yeah, he says, yeah, you know, these guys say we'll give you $35,000 to if you let me, you know, relieve myself on your face or whatever. And it's like, man, that is absolutely insane, you know? Let me check one more place, guys. 1 second. I know that's kind of 1 second. Here it is. Drop this in the chat. The thumbnail was different than I thought. There you go. Yes, check that out when you have a chance, you know. And I understand, get your money and all, but come on, man. I mean, you gotta have some. Well, you gotta have some level of self-respect. I like I said, I don't want to shame anyone's hustle, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah.
Kind of get into like a space in their mind where they feel younger than they are.
Age regression is a psychological defense mechanism for those looking to escape certain aspects of their life. It can also be a hobby, sexual fetish, or kink.
So when you first started, it was like innocent.
How old is this guy? Someone.
22.
Right. It was, you thought she was an adult.
Yeah.
And then you didn't stay talking to her on Twitter.
No, she had me move to Instagram.
How long do those conversations go on for?
On and off for about like.
All right. And what were these conversations?
I mean, it was mainly her. I mean, even I had like, you know, doubts about the whole thing, and sure, you know, of course, I was, you know, like, I didn't really, I didn't want to. I didn't think that I would be flying out.
Wait. I didn't think that I would be flying out. Okay. What's he gonna say next? Oh, she just lured me. You know what I mean?
You know, like I said, Yeshua and I both watched this earlier, and this guy, this whole time he's doing the interrogation, all this guy does is just try to justify and like downplay what he did.
Oh, you mean dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge?
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, you know, obviously they all do it, but this guy, it's just, it's just, I don't know. I can't even describe it because I'm a parent myself, like I've said before, and I just like the rage that I would have towards somebody like this. I can't even describe
to
it.
my nephew, or like if I had kids. Well, needless to say, I'm just glad that it hasn't, because I honestly can't. You know, I don't know what I would do, but it would be bad, and I'd probably end up incarcerated. So
look at Jameson's comment.
What's that?
Look at Jameson's comment.
You know what's funny? I had a conversation with my friend, and she doesn't hate her job, but she just doesn't really. She doesn't think that it's rewarding. And I'm like, where did this idea that you have to enjoy your job, or that your job has to be fulfilling come from? Like, I don't understand. Like, my job pays my 9 to 5 pays really, really well, and my personal life is so fulfilling that I don't really care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I'm being, treated fairly, and I'm being compensated in a good, fairly, I don't really care, honestly. But I know people, I have to have my job be the most rewarding thing for me, and I have to change the world. I'm like, you got me messed up.
That's how some people are. I mean, some people sacrifice pay to be happier at their job, and some people sacrifice being happier at their job for better pay. At least that's how I see it. And some people want it all, but sometimes it's just not possible. Not for everybody. That's just how it is.
I've always been the type to where work is just work.
Yeah.
Queen's in the house. Right on, man. Oh, and then was it who have I not seen in a while? Tuxedo Kitty. Haven't seen you in a while. Well, welcome back.
When did it first talk about you this year?
I don't remember when specifically. It was just more so like I had money, and I possibly may have made like a little quip, like, oh, I could fly out. Like, 2 jobs type deal.
I love how he's acting like this has just kind of happened when he brought cameras, and I mean, come on, dude. What are you talking about?
Which I guess for her, it turned into like a huge possibility or opportunity for her. And I didn't. I really didn't think I was gonna.
Right. You were living into fantasy.
I was living in a weird age regress kinky fantasy.
Okay.
just this fantasy of me pretending to say to myself that this is just a kink thing and that she can't actually be this young. Right.
Who does that sound like, guys? All the
Vincent Ambrosia.
interrogation. What's that?
Vince Ambrosia.
Yep.
By the way, I have a great Jeff Stacy impression, I think.
Uh-oh.
It's just a question.
It's a question.
What's wrong with that?
Really? I didn't know.
He did.
I didn't know I couldn't say that.
He sounds just like him.
My son asks me to do that voice all the time in front of people, and I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that.
My stomach hurts. That's hilarious.
I got a really good hamburger.
What is it? It's just talking. It's talking.
It's just talking. The internet and real life are two different things.
It's just talking.
Oh, that is the funniest thing I've heard all week, dude. Oh man, we need to write you like a script or something. We need to find someone that sounds like
no, dude.
Especially if you add the Mickey Mouse laugh on the end.
Oh, dude, if we have a person
that you mean like,
it's just a question.
It's a question. Oh.
Oh, my stomach.
Can I come inside your clubhouse?
What we need to do is we need to find someone that has a really good Chris Hansen impression, and then write a script, and you and that person can just talk about talk about like War and Peace, or talk about like, I don't know, the topographic map of the Himalayas or something. You know what I'm saying? Just random topics.
We could get the chat log, but I don't know if I could read them.
Oh no, guys, that's the one thing that I said I try to. Hey, you got a lot of a lot of fans here for your impression, man. Here's the thing. You said you're gonna get a copyright strike from Disney.
Probably.
But the thing is I read the chat logs, right? But I really try to skip over all the nasty stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I know Dave's Lemonade does that, where he reads the laugh out loud. He reads all that stuff, But I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not. I'm not gonna sit there and read about how big the guy thinks he is and all that. I'm just not. So,
dude, I can't. I've tried reading some of that stuff before, and I can't get through it. It's terrible.
Yeah, I think that my second to last video with that idiot that was. I knew what this is. I was just asking it. That's the longest chat log that I read the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
I knew it was wrong. I'll be upfront with you. I knew it was wrong.
Knucklehead.
I'm not gonna sit here and say to you that it wasn't just.
Where'd they get this music
all kinds
from?
of messed up in my head. I just.
Do you think you need some help?
I genuinely need help. That's what I need.
That's what I need.
And
can you, Steven? Can you say the death is what I want? It's what I need. The Jeff Stacy.
I don't remember him saying that.
God. Do it.
That's all I want. That's all I need.
What's he saying?
Remember, I don't want to get yeeted off of YouTube, but he's.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say that there's a couple of things he says, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say them.
Well, the thing about Jeff Stacy's chat log is it's so short, but it's to the point. Like, dude was not playing around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He knew what he wanted.
Yeah. And there was no way that he could say that it was an accident. And it was literally, it was one of those chat logs where it was like, It was real short, but he jumped from straight up like how are you to what he wants to do and then being on the road, you know.
Hey
so
kid, want to ride my log ride?
yeah, what an idiot! And I can't believe someone married him. Ugh. Well,
what Yeshua said. That's seriously what he said.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My mountain?
And I like how he talks about wanting to delete himself. And the detectives just don't even care.
Yeah. They were so done with him. They just wanted to go home.
So done, dude. Like the donuts had run out. They had nothing but decaf coffee, man. They were like, oh man. Even the bananas that someone had brought in were going bad. They're like, oh man, this isn't cool.
Put me myself. I'm just gonna hang myself.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're allowed to say
that.
Sorry.
Never once did I do this out of an intent to hurt or out of an attempt.
Oh, shut up! Are you serious?
I'm the victim.
Did he just say that he didn't do this out of intent or? Oh, come on, dude. He's getting up there to be in my top ones. Come on, man.
Yeah, this guy's terrible.
To make someone suffer or anything like that, and you know, because I because it's something I shouldn't have done.
You don't say.
Apology letter. Tell her that you didn't.
So would you be willing to write a confession? I mean, an apology letter?
Yeah, right. No. We'll never submit this into court.
So
I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna give you some time to think about what you want to write to her, and I'll come back in and check on you just a little bit.
Dear Journal, today I got arrested.
Dear Mom, I'm sorry with what I did. Can you please send me some soap with a rope on it?
But Pejic is not too quick to put pen to paper.
Having time to think, you'd be like, dude, what? Okay. Once again, if any of you who are listening are in the police station and they're questioning you, and you know that you didn't do anything, or you can't think of what you're in there for, just keep your mouth shut. They're not your friends. They're not trying to help you. Writing stuff down. No, don't do it. Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
You remember the guy who wrote the letter? What? I have him in the queue too. Oh man, the guy who wrote the letter that he read to Chris Hansen. Yeah. Oh yeah. John. The John France. Yeah. He's coming soon. Yeah. But yeah, guys, don't do this. Don't write stuff down. Don't talk. Just get your lawyer. Shut up. That's it.
Amen.
You know.
Amen.
But it's the hubris these morons have. That even though they're caught dead to rights, they really think that they're gonna talk their way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, guys: the criminal justice system banks on the fact that it was 80% of all cases are pled out because they don't have the manpower or the bandwidth or the space to take 100% of the cases to court. So they do things they manipulate people into pleading guilty for things they didn't do.
Isn't it great?
You were innocent. Go to trial. Say, look, I will see you in court because I would rather roll the dice and go down knowing I didn't do it. I fought my hardest. You know what I'm saying? But people who go, oh, maybe if I just say that I did this lesser charge or something that I didn't do, I won't get as much time. You didn't do anything.
Exactly.
And this is black people, white people. They do it to everyone because it's. Anyways, I'm done.
Some people, their interrogation tactics are so
shady.
Good. Well, but they're like so. What's the word I'm looking for? They mess with your mind so much that some people will literally admit to stuff that they didn't do.
And this is why this just gets rid of all of that because you just lawyer up and shut up.
Exactly.
that's easy.
Absolutely.
That's it. We don't even need to argue all of that. And here's the thing. You know what'll do real criminal justice reform? Seriously, this is and I'm not, but this is practical. It'll never happen. If every single person that got arrested for anything went to court, if no one pled out anymore, low income areas, middle income areas, black, white, Asian, if everyone just went to court, the criminal justice system would crash.
Well, like you said, it'll never happen because of how much money and time that would take.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think mostly time, because a lot of the people in poverty and or whatever, they would just be like languishing in jail. But that's what Dr. King did in Alabama. They said, look, they let him arrest all of us. How about that? And then the judge, and then the jail almost went bankrupt because they didn't have room.
That's great.
So,
this is why they should teach civics in high school better.
Seriously.
Know your rights.
Yeah, and I like the whole. So you're walking down the street, Stephen, and the cop asks you for your ID. Why didn't you show it to him? What do you have to hide? What do you mean? What do I have to hide? What are you talking? If you weren't doing anything wrong, you should just show him your ID. And anyways.
Well, technically, depending on what state you live in, you actually
there are
to
stop
present
and ID states. But I guess a better example is, hey, Stephen, those cops knocked on your door. Why didn't you let them into your house? What are you trying to hide? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Like, really? Like, I got 10 pounds of bleep in my closet. You think I'm going to let them in? Get out of here.
Nope.
Well, even if you have nothing to hide, though, it's
I know.
it's part of the Constitution.
It's a principle, and it's your rights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just I don't want cops tearing up my whole house trying to find something. Like
seriously.
Like even if they don't find it.
Yeah. And even then, it's the principle. This isn't, I can't use the word, but this isn't, the 30s Germany. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So.
Yes. It's not what I don't have, it's what I do have that I don't want them to see.
I
got some stuff in my bedside table that's a little,
But even then, probable cause.
To say to his victim.
That's true.
Now it's time for Detective Kennemer to get down to business and gather as many details as possible of the assault. The question, though, is will Pedgick tell him the truth?
Where'd you pick her up at?
At a church across from her street.
Okay. And then you got to the hotel. Do you know what hotel that was?
Wow.
Not the church.
Yeah, I know what it is. I forgot the name. Someone started with a B.
So, remember how I said we got to go over a couple things that are embarrassing?
Yeah.
Did she perform oral sex on you?
Yes.
Did you perform oral sex on her? Yes. Did you try to put your penis inside of her? Did you film it?
Try to?
Oh no.
Well, the thing is, because they don't know, he doesn't know that. I think that she told him that they have it on film, so he's just leading. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows all this already. He's trying to see how much that he's gonna lie, right?
Well, and regardless, they need him to admit it for court because then it's
a biggest way to try in China. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just easiest way to get him convicted.
How many times did you film that?
This guy's a piece of trash, dude.
Too short.
We're not even to the worst
Detective
part yet.
Kennemer got Pedgick's confession, but the other shoe is about to drop.
Oh yeah, just wait.
This case even bigger than anyone could have anticipated.
Have you met with anyone else that's under?
There was
Oh, the suspense is killing me.
Oh, it's the predator head hang. How many times have we seen that, guys?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is killing
Or
me.
like the Fred hang.
Yeah, the Fred hang. There's a Fred hang and the Fred hair.
Hey, Fred hang low, do a wobble to it.
Oops. They got you.
There were 2 others.
Ooh.
Were they here, or did you go to
Washington State?
And that's just what he's admitting.
Yes, one was in Washington State, and the other one I drove to Oregon.
Man, that sucks.
16 and 14, 15.
You guys had sex up there?
Dude, you are donezo, bro.
Yeah, where does
I
this
mean,
knucklehead live?
Really? He's in Florida, so he's
So he
done.
flew all the way to Washington.
Yeah.
To go a minor. That's horrible.
He flew to Washington, Oregon, and Michigan.
All right,
and those are just the places that he admitted. I mean, I don't believe that that's it. I don't believe that at all.
All right, guys. So us West Coasters got to let you guys know it's Oregon and it's Nevada, not Nevada or Oregon.
I mean, look, I live in Arizona. I don't really care what y'all call it. All right, I'm West-ish coast. I'm West-ish coast.
Well, I think some people say Nevada because it comes from Spanish, but I don't know.
But Arkansas is Arkansas, and where does that even come from?
No,
right?
I call it Arkansas. It's not Arkansas. It's Arkansas.
It's either Arkansas or it's Kansas, right? Or it's Kansas City, Kansas, right?
Hey, we don't like it too kindly when y'all make fun of us here in Arkansas.
But that's just the thing why I'm glad that American English is what I grew up speaking, because they say that Polish, Mandarin, and Icelandic and Arabic are the 4 hardest languages to learn. They are difficult because they're difficult. American English is difficult just because. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
It's like we make it hard on purpose.
Yeah.
There's 3 different there's. There's 2 different no's. Why not?
Yep.
Hedgick has just confessed to having sex with 2 other underage girls. Detective Kennemer is now face-to-face with an alleged serial child predator.
So other than these 3 people that we talked about, nobody else? Do you have anyone else you're talking to right now?
Liar.
That is being...
I will admit I do have almost like a network in Twitter.
Ooh, now he's snitching on people. This is what
however,
I like to hear.
Even though there are mentions of me going places, I haven't thought about committing to them at all.
Anything else that we haven't talked about?
Honestly, my brain is all over the place right now. I'm trying.
It's been like that for a while there, buddy boy.
I think I don't want to not be honest with you. I don't want you to run into any surprises. I know what I did, and I know it was wrong, and I got caught for it. And
so here's what I want to happen.
Sorry, guys, that's the video.
I want you to fly back with me.
Sounds like.
Because you're gonna have to come back and talk to them.
Am I specifically going back there to they jailed over there? Is there like a whole?
You think? It was like I can't get over Jeff Stacy. Well, what's gonna happen to me now? Now you're gonna go to jail. Please, no. What did you think was gonna happen after this whole time? And they had you in handcuffs in a cop car and all of that. Did you think you were gonna not go to jail?
It was like their last hope. They just needed it confirmed that that's what was gonna happen.
Who was the guy that I did the video on, and he's like, so what happens now? And the detective goes, well, now you go to jail, right in his face. Dude, these cops have had enough of these guys and those things, man.
Was that oh my God, what is his name? Oh, the guy that
No, it was Abalash Bhaskaran.
I'm thinking of somebody else
with the corn stash. He was like, so what happens to me now? And the guy leans in, it's like, well, now you go to jail. Let's see.
It's so perfect.
Sky is blue. Cars have 4 wheels. Dogs bark, and you're going to jail.
But you're gonna have to go see the judge right away, right? And that's what I'll want you to do, and then it'll be up to the judge.
He's
what I
put you up in a Holiday Inn.
Detective Kennemer then asks Pejic about one particular disturbing piece of evidence.
You did come to Michigan with a Plan B pill. You still have that at your house? In the backpack? Is that?
It's no longer in the back. It is. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Terrible.
I really genuinely hate myself. All these fantasies were driven by my.
That was Josh. That's the guy that was. I'm very professional. Remember? And he's like, I was drunk, and I think someone was in my computer. I had a party at my house.
Loneliness, fantasies are whatever. But I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have a girlfriend that I could see.
So that makes it okay. Come on, man.
I'm lonely, but I know you're not supposed to diddle with kids. What?
The thing is, look. All right. I'm not going to name any names, but I have a friend of mine that I met in college, and he was the most introverted. He was a great guy. So he was part of our friends group, but socially awkward, introverted, like every single 80s dorky white guy stereotype. You know what I mean? And now he's married, has a kid. His wife is great. You know what I mean? Guys, you just be the best version of yourself that you can be. You know what I mean? And somewhere, I hate to sound cliche, but somewhere out there, you know what I mean? There's someone out there who you click with. You know what I'm saying? If you're a socially awkward World of Warcraft player, well, there's a person who's a socially awkward World of Warcraft player out there too. You know what I mean? So, but it doesn't justify going to get little girls on the internet.
And I gave into the.
He also provides the location of a secret digital device.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off topic.
I'm worried for that.
The Plan B pill is in the top drawer. It's a little plastic drawer from IKEA or something.
Okay.
That is to the left of my desk. Okay. That is also where you will find the other phone. That other phone, it is purple. It has my alternative Snapchat, which is how I use to meet.
Oh my God! What a piece of trash.
Yeah, this is where it's really bad.
There's gonna be some photos and videos from that one.
As if it's not bad enough.
As Detective Kennemer gets up,
all you guys, you knew what the best thing to do. Go to meetup.com. There's meetup groups for all kinds of stuff. If you like playing tennis, if you like reading books, if you like role-playing games. So, for instance, I've been trying to get into Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer 40K again. You know what I mean? There's people out there who specifically meet up to do tasks, and that's always the funnest way to meet people and hang out is in person. You know what I mean? I'm not I'm naturally extroverted. So what I'm saying is I know that there listen, a meetup is a great place to go and actually I know a lot of friends who guys start running. They have run groups on Saturdays, and a lot of my friends later on in life met their significant others at 3Ks and 5Ks and 10Ks, so
to leave with all the evidence and information he needs to prosecute Peter Pejic for his crimes against 3 children. Pejic has one more question.
So how is this gonna work between now and when we
here's
well, you're gonna go to jail and many dudes are gonna pummel you because you're a sex offender.
It's going to happen, okay? They're going to get you in front of a judge as soon as they possibly can. If you say you're going to fly back and talk to our judge, then it's called waiving extradition, and then hopefully they'll let you fly back with it.
It's a call or something.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, guys, about people who victimize kids, right? People always think that there's going to be this big raw guy unless you count that Can I Are You guy. He was a big dude, but it's always these weaselly dudes who prey on kids because they're cowards. You know what I mean? They're cowards, and it's about power, and they feel like this is the only way that they can get power. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy. That's why I always thought that people who just couldn't think that someone like Scar from The Lion King could ever be like a real bad dude. Scar is that Weasley dude who will wait for just the right time to stick the knife in your back.
I need to tell people that I'm gonna be gone.
While Pedrick waits behind bars to go before a Florida judge to be extradited to Michigan,
Did they draw the short straws and they had to ride on the back of the truck? Hey, newbie, get out there and ride on the back of the tank.
Would Florida Police Department SWAT team and officers descend on Pedrick's home to execute the search warrant. They find more cellular devices, a Plan B morning after box, and the clothes he was wearing during his time in Flint, Michigan. All now part of the evidence against him. While the capture and questioning of Pedrick went as smooth as can be, there was...
Petar Pedrick. I thought his name was Peter. Okay. Look at this knucklehead.
His initials.
That's right. Oh, man.
Was still one more issue the ghost detectives had to wait on.
All right, this is our last day down in Florida. Our suspect has got to waive his rights right now. So we're waiting. The court should probably start in about 15 minutes. So it comes down to whether or not he says who he is and that we have that active warrant. If he waives it, then he flies back with us. And we have to get ready to transport a high-risk prisoner in the airplane, in the airport, get him back to Michigan so he can face justice for a victim.
Word.
Okay, court just got done with. Mr. Check waived his right to a hearing. He's ready for us to pick him up when it's time for us to go to the airport. We're going to be flying back to Flint, Michigan, where he'll be transported to the Johnson County Jail and face.
Hey, Steven, how's the water situation in Flint? Still bad? That kind of like dropped out of the news cycle, but it's still pretty bad, right? Are you muted?
Justice for sexually assaulting our 12-year-old victim.
As the plane's wheels touch down in Detroit, Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson is waiting to take his man into custody.
What had happened is you have a 22-year-old guy from West Palm Beach, Florida, that used Instagram to groom this little girl who was 12 years old. He groomed her and convinced her to wait for him in a parking lot at midnight of a church. He flew from West Palm Beach to Detroit, right here at Metro Airport, rented a car, drove to Flint, and picked her up at midnight, took her to a local hotel in Mount Morris Township.
Sad, man.
And sexually assaulted her.
Back against the wall, face the wall.
Left her that next day, went back to Florida. That's what started this investigation. Because of the great work of the Ghost members, and we worked with West Palm Beach, Florida, Hollywood, Florida, Broward County Sheriff's Office, we're able to identify using our tools of investigation.
That's so great. They got this guy, man. They really need to pour more resources into getting people like this.
At that point, our investigation showed that not only did he do it in Flint, Michigan, but he also, from then till now, flew to Washington State and assaulted a 16-year-old, and then went from Washington to Oregon and assaulted a 14-year-old. And the 12-year-old was from Flint, Michigan, which is the reason why the Ghost team is here, and this is why we're doing this And I'm showing you, it doesn't matter where people are, it doesn't matter where they live. If they come into this county of Genesee and they assault, they sexually abuse, they traffic, they do whatever they need to do, whatever they want to do, thinking they're going to get away with it, we're going to come find you. And this is why we're here. So Patrick's going to come right down from this door. My name is Sheriff Chris Swan.
Ah, there you go. The big cameras. That's what I'm talking about. See, in the newer investigations, they have small cameras or phones, man. I like they need to at least have one guy with like a prop big camera. You know what I mean? I want the drama. You know what I mean?
Hansen, you're in custody by the Genesee County Sheriff's Office. Do you understand that? I do. And you have a 9-count felony warrant. That's from our jurisdiction. Do you understand that? Where you're in custody, you're going to be transported to the Genesee County Jail for further investigation and further custody. Do you understand that? I do. Do you have any medical concerns or any issues that are going on right now?
Our medical money.
They should have the lady from the Princess Bride waiting for him. Boo! Boo! The king of filth! Boo!
Okay, we're going to take you to this police car. We're going to put you in the back. We're going to transport you to Flint, Michigan. Do you understand that? I do. Let's go.
When the digital evidence found at Pedgick's home is brought back to Genesee County for further analysis, what the techs find is alarming and will further build the case against him.
He also videotaped the interaction and was selling the footage.
Oh, no.
He turned it into a sexual assault porn industry. He had 2,700 videos on his phone.
2,700. And of those, how many were pornographic videos, potentially evidence of a crime?
Pornographic, the majority.
Sorry, guys, I try and get that word.
Evidence of a crime. Captain Nelson, who is our forensic downloader, had just under 79 videos of victims under the age of 7.
What?
The videos he was...
Are they serious? Oh my goodness. This is what, man. What do you even say to that?
Was making of these rapes of children. He was selling?
Yes.
Do we have any idea of the mechanics there? How much money he was making? How he was doing this?
I don't know the answer to that, but it's not uncommon that many... I don't know the answer to that right now, but this is why we have federal partners that can take that and see who on the back end. But again, you could have somebody from another country, 10,000 miles away, in Australia, and we're not going to be able to charge that person. So this is a global economy when it comes to the underbelly of society. What we do know is it's not just money people want. They exchange images and think of collectibles. That's what they see these as. So they will give you an image to get 2 images. And that's how child porn addicts and pedophiles and predators, that's their currency.
So this is what I was talking about earlier when I said it got worse.
Man, that's crazy.
And I heard you calling my name. Sorry, I was on the phone with my wife.
Oh no, I was gonna say, how's the water situation in Flint?
Honestly, that never affected me, so I haven't kept up with it in a while. But I mean, as far as I know, it's better, but it's not anywhere near where it should be still, because that's like a very the problem went so deep.
Yeah, hold on, Queen. Yes, the forensics guys have to watch it. They have to watch it all because they have to confirm that that's what it is.
Yeah.
So dude, that's a job I couldn't do. I'm sorry. You got to sit there and look at all of the images and watch it. Come on, man.
Some of these cops see a lot of stuff, like scenes of people being deleted and all that stuff. I couldn't do that.
So guys, the SVU episode that I was talking about is, hold on, I just pulled it up. It is season 17, episode 15. Check that out. So they bust this boxer who used to this ex boxer who used to, who's assaulting young girls, and then he drops a dime on everyone in the little ring, and one of the guys that's trading pictures is a police commissioner. Oopsie.
Cell phone were text messages between him and the 12-year-old girl. Text messages that can account for his additional whereabouts while in Flint. In an alarming discovery, Pejic allegedly followed the girl to a Walmart where she was shopping with her family. He texted her to meet him in the family bathroom where they would kiss, telling her he doesn't want to get caught.
This guy.
Thankfully,
Imagine
Pejic
being those
did get
parents
caught.
knowing this now.
Knowing they were right there, yeah.
Yeah.
It is in the custody of the Genesee County Sheriff's Office where he can't hurt another child. Child predators who stalk and groom underage children are an epidemic, not only here in the U.S., but around the globe. Sheriff Swanson and the Ghost team want to put them behind bars, obviously, but another priority is to educate parents and society in general.
What's the lesson of this case? I mean, it's horrifying, I think, to a lot of parents that a child could be targeted on Instagram.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily a dating site. This isn't.
But Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram aren't either. But it happens all the time,
necessarily, explicit area of conversation. This is where kids are talking to other kids. What's the lesson in this case?
So go back to,
don't give your young kids smartphones, man.
No.
30.
My nephew didn't have one until he was like 16, and even then, it's like, dude, no. If
They don't
anyone
need
you don't know contacts you, if anyone send even at a school, anyone sends you pictures, because he's a 6'5" football hero. These little girls around the school, they'll send him pictures. I said, delete those immediately, because if he gets caught with that on his phone, he goes to jail for child porn charges. And I said,
does that happen if you're underage?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
All the time. And if you forward it to someone,
well, I know that's illegal.
You get if you send it to your friend, right, then you get transmission of child porn.
Years ago, when people were always telling their kids, don't talk to strangers because they're right there, they have the vans with no windows and they're offering candy, and that happens. But the internet has transitioned into those same vans with no windows, and people are right there with you by the millions, and they are seeking and roaming, and they have different doors that they open to get in. And I think the lesson is that it's real. People don't like to hear about 12-year-olds getting raped, so they don't talk about it. That's why I'm so committed to being on your platform is you have a voice to the world. And if your interview with me can get somebody to talk about it, and it could be happening right now, and it stops, like we just saved a kid that we won't even know.
Look at that guy.
I reached out to Pejic's attorney for comment and requested an interview with Peter himself. I did not receive a response.
Big surprise. Guys, speaking of Instagram, so before I close out, they had a thing on these girls who were getting these BBLs, these Brazilian butt lifts, and they'll go to the DR and they'll go to some quote unquote doctor's office, and they'll end up dying. It's happening all the time. You Google this, it's nuts. So what'll happen is that, let's just say that I'm a woman, right? And then I get and then Zeph works for one of these quote unquote doctors. Zeph will make a profile with a hot woman's picture, right? She'll take some Instagram woman, take her pair of pictures, make a profile, then reach out to me and go, hey, you look like, you need some work done. I'm like, oh, saw someone, oh yeah, I went to Dr. Steven. right?
You got to stop using my name.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. You're fine.
But so what happens is so then these girls, something bad will happen, like they'll get an infection or their arm or leg will need to be cut off, and then they go back to the Instagram. Zeph's gone. It was fake the whole time. It was to lure those people down there. It was to con them into giving that quote unquote doctor their business. So, but all right, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of back alley stuff is going on for a long time, isn't it?
Yeah. And
It's just a new way of running the scam, you know.
In Florida, I mean, you look at these doctors in Miami now who are doing this, and all these women are all passing away, you know. But I gotta head out here soon. But everyone drop some closing thoughts, and then we will head out. Zeph, any closing thoughts, comments?
I guess I was gonna mention that, like, when I was a kid, which was about 6 years ago, since I just turned 18 last year, I had these communications. Like, I was doing this sort of like almost RP chatting stuff with people that were much older than me, which I should not have done. Of course, I knew better than to tell them any of my, like, where I lived or anything. I told them I lived like in Switzerland or something, which I don't live there. And I mean, if people contact you about that stuff, like when you're a kid, the smartest thing you can do, first of all, don't talk to them, but also you can just lie about wherever, because they can lie about things too. So I guess that's what I did.
Yeah.
Which, it was dumb to talk to them to begin with, but you know, if people approach you with that kind of stuff, it's best to just disengage from it, or just
Yeah, you can. That's the thing about the internet. You can unplug from it. You know what I mean. Steven, any do you prefer Steven or Steve?
Steven's fine.
Steven,
I tell people whatever.
Any closing thoughts?
So, I meant to mention this earlier. That story I told about my friend, the guy I used to be friends with at the beginning. A couple years after that, he had a warrant out for his arrest for something totally different. And he lived right by the police station that had the arrest warrant out for him. And they ended up finding him because this is when Pokemon Go was a big thing.
Oh, no.
He followed a Pokemon to the police station. And they arrested him because he walked into the police station to catch a Pokemon. It was on the news and everything.
Oh my gosh, what a knucklehead! Here, you know what? The next live, I'm gonna bring this story up, man. Drop the name in the Discord, man. We have to go over this. Yeah,
I will also be dropping a link in the Discord of a video, or just like a channel that I find funny. But yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'll also drop the link to the guy who does the evictions. Just guys, some of it. It's like I said, there are people who make a living doing things that are like questionable, but it is. But you guys, I appreciate you guys coming on a Thursday.
Yeah, thanks for doing it on a Thursday.
You guys are the best, man. I really appreciate it. And anytime that I hear any foolishness from YouTube about like strikes or copyrights, no, not copyright, but community I'll drop it the Discord immediately. And if I am ever in YouTube jail for like a week, I'll give you guys the link to the voice channel, and we can just do calls and lives there in the meantime. But hopefully it can happen again soon. So all right, you guys, I appreciate it. This is AJ. I'm out of here. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good night.
All right.